pipeline. It was after, like, her crash out was top tier elite crash out. I'm sure, I know for a fact, if you're not a Minnesota Lynx fan, especially probably if you are a Las Vegas Aces fan, Cheryl Reeves may rub you the wrong way because the way she rides for her players, and she don't hold no punches back. She literally gonna say whatever's on her mind. But I'm sure if you were an actual basketball player, you played in the W, you probably 9 times out of 10 would love to play for a coach like Cheryl Reeves because she don't bite her tongue. She literally rock and roll and is willing to crash out, get fined, get suspended for her teams. But let's just call a spade a spade. You won't. I don't even necessarily know if you've seen anybody else talk about the W with a Napheesa Collier shirt on. So that kind of lets you know how much I am a fan of feet. But we got to be real. I mean, especially on threads, we done had this conversation with plenty of Minnesota Lynx fans. The weakest spot in the Minnesota, even when they was winning games or games that was a little bit closer than what they should have been, even if they poured them out at one, was they just was weak on the rebounding. Like, I think rebounding, again, because if you do follow the WNBA, rebounding is so frowned upon because Angel Reese is such a great rebounder. But let's just be clear, if you're watching these playoff games, a lot of teams lack rebounding, but especially the Minnesota Lynx when it counted. What was that, game two? I believe it was, again, what was that, DeWanna Bonner? I believe, if I'm counting because there's 2 games behind that, but I believe DeWanna Bonner missed the 3-point shot, and literally the Mercury, if the Lynx would have got it, the game was over. The Mercury got it, kicked it out for 3, boom, forced overtime, whatever case may be. The rest is history. Phoenix ended up winning that game. But again, we talking about rebounding, and if we talking about physicality, even if you was watching the game, what was that, game 3? Realistically, if we keep it being outside of Natisha Heidemann and Courtney Williams, the third star of that game, realistically, I can't forget, what's my lady name, number 77 from Russia. She literally, because she's physical, she's okay with physical, and I think, if we're being honest, she's not used to getting enough touches, so that's why a lot of times it wasn't a clean look around the basket. She kind of had to figure it out because that's not her thing on that team. But you can see she was the only person who was willing to still bump and bang with the Mercury. Because if we keeping it a beam, feet kind of went missing in that second half. I believe she had, what, 4 points in the third quarter and 0 in the fourth quarter. Like, literally left the game, I believe, with 0 points in the fourth. I think she may have got 2. But we sit here saying, because you watching the physicality kind of take place on Minnesota, where they kind of wasn't used to that level of physicality. And I think realistically, even if you're being honest, that's what kind of lost them the finals last year with Jacqueline Jones. That's why she won Finals MVP. Hey, I'm going to endure my strength and my ability to kind of make this game get very physical, muck it up a little bit, get maybe some fouls not going your way. And of course, I mean, it seems Cheryl Reeves, like, dag, Fee didn't even get no calls, but let's keep it a bean. Fee really wasn't going to the basket like she needed to, neither. Like, she was doing a lot of those fadeaways, and you seen that fadeaway again going back in the game too. She could have won the game with that fadeaway. It didn't go in. I think sometimes, and of course it's because it's the WNBA, so you kind of not used to saying, hey, you just need a big man that you can throw the ball into that's going to bang and get a bucket close to the basket. Like, the fadeaway and the jump shots and all of that is cool when they're going in, but when they're not falling, you need somebody to be able to get back to the basket and get absolutely physical, score through contact. And again, like I said, I'm sure if you one of those people and you are a huge Angel Reese fan, you'd probably seen them put her in millions of different jerseys. But watching the way this Phoenix series is playing out, if we just keep it in a spade, that's what you need. You need that physical big. I don't need you, even if you kind of even tie that into the Candace Parker saying, oh, she'll be a great role player. Hey, I think everybody and their mother on all parties would be absolutely cool with her being a role player for the Minnesota Lynx. And of course, we talking about that toughness. If Dejanay wasn't injured, you probably realistically could get an extra little bit of toughness and aggressiveness, which Dejanay brought. But I do think realistically, if we just watching this play out, like I said, if Minnesota pull out a victory in game 4 without Fee and without Coach Cheryl Reeves, it would damn near be a miracle. But let's just sit here and say, if they do or they don't, I do think even if you win that one, I don't necessarily know if you can win the series. You probably realistically gotta trade. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Alana Smith, like, she cool. Listen to him, cool. I understand she got the defensive player, the co-defensive player of the year, but again, where it's like, yeah, when them shots is cool as falling. Like, she get beat up all season, but you kind of don't need somebody who can get beat up. You need somebody who can allow doing some beating up. You need somebody that you can watch. Like, only 2 players in the WNBA that I can legitimately sit here and say is down with the banging all day long and all game long. Probably 3. I'm sure most people probably feel a way about Aaliyah Boston, but Aaliyah Boston Derek and Hamby, and Angel Reese. That's it. Those three do not care about. They will bang the whole entire game. Don't got no, like, they are a-okay with making all of their buckets, getting hit, getting bowled, falling to the ground, pushing other people to the ground. Like, that's just their get down. And of course, Alyssa Thomas, I can't even know how, but she's on the Mercury, so that kind of just don't count. But we just talking about other players realistically that Minnesota may need to sort out to try to find a way to get over that hump. You need that toughness. Like, that finesse is cool when when the ball is moving and the shots is falling. That finesse game looks amazing. You can kind of even tie that into the NBA. When Golden State lost to the Lakers that series, when it was before the Lakers kind of really blew up their team, that last little stretch that they had when they played the Warriors, and they just had too many bigs. And who they played? They was playing Anthony Davis, and I forgot who the other big was, but they went with a super big lineup, and Golden State couldn't do nothing with it because it was just a finesse. Yeah, we can stretch the floor, and it's cool. When the ball is flying, man, all hails to everybody when the shots is falling. But when the shots not falling, dog, you need some physical players to get rebounds, get defensive stops, and it's okay with get me the ball down low, and I'm going to draw some defense, draw some fouls, get real physical. I'm cool with that play, and that's what I said. Minnesota don't have it right now, and I've been saying that, and people on threads, when we talk about the Minnesota Lynx, that's the Minnesota Lynx biggest flaw all season. And I know winning regular season games, it's hard to see where your flaws is because, hey, we win and it don't matter. But if you're really watching those games and you see where they were struggling at, it's always been getting rebounds and getting out physical. And Minnesota is a more of a finesse team, not a physical team. Realistically, you're only two players that kind of really strive or thrive in physicality is number 77 and Dejanay Carrington. And Dejanay Carrington, is she out? She injured. So it's kind of you already up an uphill battle because that was one of the reasons why you brought Dejanay to the team, for her athleticism and her physicality. So it's like when you kind of, that's all you got. It's like, all right, what else I got? Fee is a finesse player. Great. Ooh, that little shake and bake and the fadeaway.